The sights and highlights, the latest updates on the games, and the stories behind those journeys.
And it was a rainy day across the inland Northwest, but now that storm is on the move. We'll talk about it in your full forecast. Nonstop Local Pulse Prime starts right now.
Morgan Ashley, bringing you the content that connects our communities. You're watching Nonstop Local Pulse Prime.
Well, good evening. I'm Morgan Ashley. Thanks for joining us for Pulse Prime. Continuing coverage now on the body of a woman that was found in a residential backyard. This was in Sprague, and now the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office is investigating the woman's death. Here now with us some more information on this is Ainsley Anderson. Good evening, Ainsley. What are we learning at this point in this investigation?
Well, Morgan, one of the biggest details that have been released by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office is the identity of the body that was found in the backyard. Now, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office has identified 26-year-old Aspen Valdez as the deceased individual. She was found in the backyard of a house between East Street and F Street on 2nd. Leaders with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, they told me over the phone that things like this don't happen often here, and so they are working to get all of the facts before releasing new information. And they say this is still an active and ongoing investigation. And according to police reports, Valdez was reported missing on February 26th after leaving a family car on foot, allegedly intending to go to Spokane. Now, LCSO says Valdez's body was found just after 10 a.m. Tuesday when dispatch, they received a call from a Sprague resident reporting a dead body in his backyard. That same day, the Sprague School District reportedly rerouting kids on their walk home to avoid that area during this time. The Spokane County Medical Examiner will conduct an autopsy to determine Valdez's manner of death. And we did reach out to Valdez's family for comment, but they tell us they're not quite ready to speak to media at this time. In the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, they say if you have any security camera footage that you can go through that might know the whereabouts of where Valdez has been since February 26th, they advise you to contact them at 509-725-3501. Reporting in Sprague, I'm Ainsley Anderson, Nonstop Local.
All right, thanks so much, Ainsley. We appreciate that. A water rescue earlier today in Spokane. The police department and firefighters responded to the East Trent Avenue Bridge. This is near Hamilton Street. A caller reported seeing multiple people jump into the Spokane River. One man was located on the shore and transported to the hospital, according to Justin DeReuter with Spokane Fire. They did not see, in fact, multiple people in the water. They actually used a drone, as you can see here, to get a wider look at the area. So it's unclear at this point if there are more people involved. Well, Rosemary Wright's here with our forecast. There is a look outside. It's been a really rainy day, but it really did feel a lot like spring, which was really nice to see as well.
Yes, they say spring showers bring May flowers, and it's certainly that time of year. We got wet weather, lowland rain, mountain snow, and it really was needed too. Even despite all of that moisture we saw, we're still at just 35% of our normal amount of rain for the last 30 days in the Lilac City. As we look at that satellite radar, all the areas shaded in green saw rain, areas in pink captured sleet, and then of course blue is where we registered snow. We had temperatures in the 40s as we're getting into those evening hours for Spokane. As for those of us in South Central Washington State, upper 40s to low 40s, so kind of a wide range. Things sitting quite a bit warmer than they would typically be for this time of year, especially as we get into the later hours of the night. As we look at those road conditions, you'll notice we're capturing wet roads with patchy ice, as well as snowy areas too. So road conditions are certainly something to keep in mind, especially as we're expecting more wet weather overnight for many of us across eastern Washington and North Idaho. With that though comes some winter weather advisories. All of the areas shaded in purple, including Columbia, Washington, Walla Walla, and almost all of Idaho County, Idaho, under winter weather advisory set to expire Thursday at 8 a.m. Right now, reminder, those can always be extended or expanded. But you'll notice as we get later into the work week and over the weekend, that system really becomes isolated over North Idaho, so conditions are set to dry out for Spokane in the coming days, as well as for the Tri-Cities and Yakima. We'll take a closer look at that in our full forecast, Morgan.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Rosemary. Well, Kennewick police shut down 4 massage businesses after an undercover operation targeted illegal activity. Police say detectives in the Metro Drug Task Force closed Arm Massage, Sunrise Massage Spa, Sunrise Massage, and Dream Spa in Kennewick. 3 owners received criminal citations for allowing prostitution, and in fact, police arrested 1 owner for prostitution. Officers connected 3 human trafficking victims with advocacy services. Police say the investigation into the illegal businesses are still underway. Richland City Council is putting a temporary pause on certain housing facilities tied to sexually violent predators. The decision comes as community members across the Tri-Cities raise concerns about where those facilities should be located. NonStop Local's Brendan Jin explains what the decision means and what happens next.
Tuesday night, Richland City Council unanimously approving a 6-month moratorium on housing for sex offenders within city limits.
There are no current LRA facilities in Richland now. In this moratorium, we've put a pause on accepting any applications for new facilities.
Less restrictive alternatives are designed to house sexually violent predators who are conditionally released from total confinement while receiving court-ordered supervision and treatment. The move comes after community concerns over the proposed home on West 8th Avenue in Kennewick is set to house offenders under state supervision, monitored by the Washington State Department of Social and Health Services.
LRAs are an essential public facility as defined by the state, and we're obligated to accept all essential public facilities as they're identified in the Washington Administrative Code.
At Tuesday's City Council meeting, leaders say current rules don't fully address the impact these facilities can have on a neighborhood, and the pause will give them time to develop clearer regulations.
We don't know what we don't know yet, and that's what we plan to do over these next 6 months is to study the issue, confer with other regions that have gone through the same thing, work together among all the local governments, and just see what is a good fit for us.
The temporary moratorium will allow them to review similar situations before new facilities are approved in the city. Schissel is confident the city will come to a decision within the 6 months.
I doubt we'll need more than the 6 months, but if we do, state law provides for an opportunity to do that. We will just have to adopt a work plan. We cannot indefinitely extend a moratorium. It does have to have an end date, and we do intend to work within that 6-month window that Council approved.
A public hearing on the moratorium is scheduled for April 7th at City Hall. In Richland, Brendan Jin, NonStop Local.
Well, Richland police say they took an 18-year-old wanted for robbery and unlawful imprisonment into custody this afternoon. Officers say they saw the suspect go into a building on the 300 block of Bradley Boulevard, but he refused to come out. Police say he tried to hide in the attic crawl space and then fell through the ceiling, causing significant damage. Officers turned the suspect over to Pasco police as this investigation continues. Some teams have the privilege of making the State B tournament every year, but for some teams, it's a once-in-a-blue moon opportunity. NonStop Local's Noel Bolter spoke with some students attending for the first time this State B.
We're down here at State B. It's day 1, and I'm here with someone. This is Kale Mullins. Kale, you're 17 years old. This is your first time being able to be here at State B. What has it been like?
It's been phenomenal. Our girls are up. We're here to win. We're here to dominate. We're going to take over tonight and from here on out.
Kale, you got a group of friends here. Y'all made the 2+ hour drive. Why was this so important to be here?
You know, this is the first time our girls have gone to state since I've been in high school. We've watched them all year. We just got to come cheer them on, make sure they know we love them.
Well, I have a guess as to what the answer is, but where's the energy level at right now?
Yeah. Where would you say it is? Yeah.
Answer. Everything is alive and well here at State B in Spokane. I'm Noel Bolter. NonStop Local.
Well, it's really the fans and families that help make State B what it is, but no one looks forward to it more than, of course, the players. And Austin Getz joins us now. This is something a lot of these players have been waiting their entire lives for.
Yeah, and a moment of serendipity here,
right.
Morgan. The first highlights that we're going to show you in just a second are actually from that game that Noah was talking to the fans. Anybody wants to do when you make it to the state tournament is maximize the time spent with your team. For everybody playing today, though, the highest level of pressure, it's win or go home. Now, the Pomeroy Pirate girls, they squeaked in with a 3-point win in their play-in game. They were facing Yakima Nation Tribal in the Spokane arena. Eagles started out shooting quick, no good on the first look, but Ruby Trujillo Walsey there for the putback. The Eagles started working it down low as well. Ayana Sampson gets it to fall off the glass, but that one is good for 2. Quick 3 by Pomeroy's Kendall Fatonchnik. Splashes that one down, gets the Pirates going. Then they finally work it inside. A great find by Sydney Wolf over to Reagan McKiernan for 2 points. But it is Yakima Nation Tribal who is too much down the stretch. They get the win, and now they will face Waterville-Mansfield in the semifinals. And this is the end of the road for Pomeroy. Morgan, coming up, we have plenty more highlights, and not just from State B. The other state tournaments happening in Washington, 1A and 2A at the Yakima Sundome and 3A and 4A at the Tacoma Dome.
All right, much more to come tonight. Stick around. We're back right after this.
Content connecting community. You're watching The Pulse.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bradley Warren. Welcome to The Pulse. The war in Iran has now entered its 5th day. Residents near the U.S. Embassy in Doha are being evacuated tonight. The Senate Republicans earlier today rejected a war powers resolution. This as a U.S. submarine sank an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean overnight. According to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, the ship was in international waters. Iranian strikes also continuing in Turkey today. NATO defenses are saying right now that there were intercepted ballistic missiles launched from Iran before entering Turkey's airspace.
He's 20. He was going to be 21 in May, in 2 months. I just really wish I got to tell him I love him one more time because he was just so amazing.
Hearing right there from the family of Declan Cody, who was killed in Iranian retaliatory attacks over the weekend, speaking today again about how heartbroken they are to learn the news that they've lost their loved ones. 5 other U.S. service members were also killed in Kuwait. The remaining 2 soldiers' names have now been released. Earlier this evening, it was announced that Chief Warrant Officer Robert Maras, 54 of California, and Major Jeffrey O'Brien, 45 of Iowa, were killed in those attacks. That's all from the Pulse desk. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you later.
This is SWX Nonstop Local Sports.
More action from the WIAA state basketball tournaments in Yakima, Tacoma, and Spokane. Let's go to the arena where the defending 2B boys champion Columbia Burbank began their title defense at the Spokane Arena against Toledo. The Coyotes started off by getting things going with Jace Aldis, and he drives baseline, knocks down the mid-range jumper for two. Then watch Mason Schumacher here as he'll drive, kick to the corner. Long-range jumper is pure from Grady Kinzer as Columbia Burbank led by 9 at the half. They kept up the pace in the second half. Aldis thinks about it, but dishes instead to Kinzer in the corner for the triple. The Coyotes sophomore was not only distributing, he'll drive as well and lay this one over 2 defenders and off the glass. Columbia Burbank moves on with a 63-55 win. The Coyotes will face Reardon tomorrow at 7:15 p.m. That's a game we'll have for you live on SWX. The Davenport girls trying to stay alive. They needed a win over Mount Vernon Christian to get to Thursday's quarterfinal round. Fast start for the Hurricanes, though, and it was senior Avery McCullough who would score 5 of the first 7 as the Hurricanes had an early lead. But the Gorillas got things going, and it was Glenna Soliday who did it. She would get hot from behind the arc, buries a 3 here. She had 12 points in the first quarter alone and 25 for the game. More from Davenport. This time, a little defense leading to offense. The Charlotte Soliday with the steal that time, and Glenna lays it in on the other side. Davenport on a 17-1 run to end the first half. They go on to win and advance to the quarterfinals where they will face Northwest Christian Thursday at 2 o'clock. Back to the boys action. 4-seed Reardon Screamin' Eagles versus the 12-seed Raymond South Bend Ravens. Excuse me, this is a girls' game, not a boys' game. Denise Waters working hard down low. She's got moves and gets the bucket to go for Reardon. On the other end of the floor, it's Cassie Koski waiting for her shot off the inbounds, and that one's good. In fact, it's automatic when she lets it go. Then it's Madison Sand just gliding through defenders here on the way to the rim. She'll lay it in. Then how about Reardon with the oldest play in basketball, the old give and go. Rylan Green right back to Chasen Waters, good for 2. This one is a close defensive battle, and Reardon gets the win. The Screamin' Eagles are moving on to the quarterfinals. They will face Brewster on Thursday. Over to the Tacoma Dome, the 4A boys bracket. Chiawana facing Puyallup, and you got to win to make it just to Thursday. Riverhawks were down early, but trying to claw back into it. Athen Harris, a little help from the iron, never hurt anybody. He's able to sink the 3. More from Chiawana. Wade Woodard open in the corner, hits the 3, and the Riverhawks have made a run to put it within single digits, but Puyallup was out and running to answer. Bennett Hedman with the layup. That made it a 7-0 run. Tight contest. Chiawana nearly pulls the 11-6 upset, but it is Puyallup holding on to win. Now over to Yakima at the Sundome. The 2A girls, Deer Park taking on Mark Morris. That's Ashlyn Bryant connecting on the floater. More from Deer Park this time. Emma Bryant finding Ashlyn in the corner, put another 3 up on the board. Mark Morris looking for an answer. How about Paisley Freidenberg connecting from deep as she'll catch and fire this one from outside the arc. But the Stags would not slip in this one. Give Emma 2 points this time on this nice double clutch layup. Deer Park wins big. They are quarterfinal bound where they will face the top seed Linden on Thursday.
Ooh.
Yeah, so a lot going on. Again, we have a couple of SWX broadcasts at the Spokane Arena tomorrow.
Yeah.
The 5:30 and the 7:15 games out of the boys brackets, and we'll have plenty more on top of all that.
All right, well, cheese fans, we're going to tell you something more here. The next story for you, stick around. When we come back, we have a look at the World Championship Cheese Contest. Well, cheese fans are packing Madison, Wisconsin for the 2026 World Championship Cheese Contest.
You're going to get a lot of different flavors, a lot of different textures. Take your time and try something outside the box. You know, you might see a sheep's milk cheese and you've never tried one of those before. Give it a shot.
Dairy producers from around the world are showing off their top cheeses, all competing for the title of world champion. You can even watch the live stream online as the contest unfolds. Organizers say the competition ends on Thursday. Well, thanks for joining us tonight on Post Prime. We hope to see you right back here tomorrow night.